Feather Family. It's a Roblox game about playing as a bird. Most players spend their time playing as characters of theirs and role-playing. Others like to spend their time just hanging out and exploring the map. All that aside, it's a pretty chill game. But there's something unsettling hiding behind the scenes. Now, I'm not talking about the creepypastas people try to summon. Stuff like the screaming Shodol, the drowned loon, and the list goes on. But I will mention them. I don't believe in them, but I guess it'd certainly be scary to think of this innocent bird game having horrific ghosts haunting its servers. This game also, for some strange reason, has lore. Basically, there's this family of penguins, and then one of them goes missing. Now, I'm not exactly in the know of the lore that much anyway, so I won't talk about it much. But I do think it's a bit dark for a character to be missing in this innocent little bird game. Okay, creepypastas might be scary, but it's easy to think they're fake. The lore about a character being missing, it's dark, but that isn't too eerie. But there's one thing behind the scenes of this game that just unsettles me. Have you ever played on a server alone? You'll quickly realize that when there are no birds, Feather Family is an empty world. Houses are empty. The village is empty. Everything is empty. What happened to all the humans? Maybe I'm reading too deep into this. But there's clearly signs of humans in Feather Family. Villages, structures, bridges, the list goes on. No bird could have made these. Of course, they have talons and beaks, but it would be extremely unlikely. Of course, griffins and phoenixes exist in Feather Family, and the family of penguins I mentioned earlier also are bringing back extinct birds like it's Jurassic Park. So clearly it's a fantasy setting, but I still believe that the birds aren't the ones who built these structures. My reasoning for this is simple. The birds in question are clearly regular birds. They make nests like regular birds, instead of building beds. Not only this, but there's bird feeders, chicken coops, and bird houses throughout the map. If these creatures were a type of advanced bird, surely they wouldn't still use these. All of this leads into a single idea. Humans exist in here. They clearly didn't abandon their homes due to a natural disaster. We can tell just by the fact the buildings are intact. And there's clearly signs of life throughout Feather Family. Plenty of plants and animals throughout the game. So, we can rule out unclean water, or such. And every building in the village looks as if it was frozen in time. Clearly the humans didn't have time to gather their precious belongings before leaving this land. So, I think there's two possibilities. A nuclear bomb was dropped and they abandoned the land, or something along those lines, or for better or for worse, all the humans somehow died. If it's the first, that would mean the entire Feather Family map is exposed to radiation, which could cause its own set of problems to the wildlife of this Roblox game, such as strange mutations and cancer. But from what we've seen, there doesn't seem to be very many odd mutations. And if it's the second, that just leads to even more questions. None of which I'll try to answer in this video. But while I'm on the topic of things that unsettle me in Feather Family, I must talk about this next building. Just beyond the village, there's a flooded building. The abandoned grain factory. Out of all the structures in this game, this one is probably the creepiest. It's dark, and gloomy, and flooded, and abandoned. If I'm correct about all the buildings in Feather Family being abandoned, it's clear that this one specifically was abandoned long before whatever happened to the humans. What exactly happened here isn't known, and why it was abandoned was too. Everything about this building makes it the one thing that unsettles me the most about this game. With that all being said, I wish you on a safe journey as you explore this abandoned world. Houses that'll never be filled by human once more, schools never hearing the sound of a chattering class of children, and bridges that'll never be walked on again. Abandoned and deserted. Frozen in time.